This is week 6, and we're going to talk about organizational culture this week and also how to bring about change and managing change. So you're going to start out by learning the importance of culture and how culture is something that organizations strive to create so that people align with that culture when they are hired, and then they become happy employees because the culture aligns with their value system. They work hard and then they're very productive. So when we look for an organization that we may want to join or be part of, we are looking for almost more of does it fit than necessarily the other aspects of the job. Most employees leave a company by and large because the culture doesn't align with their value system, with their work approach, or something that's very important to them. In addition to many leaving for communication, which is also looked at as a value that people have that some cultures don't embrace or advocate for inside their organization. So you're going to look at the importance of culture. I would encourage you to think about the culture of the organization you work in, that you have worked in, or some companies that may have a very successful organizational culture. So I'll give you a couple of examples to think about. Chick-fil-A has a very good corporate culture. You can tell the culture is good and is a fit for its employees by how the employees act, behave, and more importantly, how long they stay with the company. When I shop at Costco, I am looking at things such as how many years are on their badge and their name badge. And there are always a long list of employees that I encounter in Costco that have a lot of tenure with that company. So how long people stay with a company is a one way to visualize or think about how good a culture is and how important they see the culture in getting people to work for that company that are a good fit. And I know that's not maybe a good word, but it really is the buzzword. Do you fit? Does it make sense for you to work here? Will we all get along? Will you like how we work and how we engage with each other as employees? So then the last chapter of this class is going to be managing change. Approximately 75% of change initiatives fail. That can be anything from as simple as changing a dress code to changing a full-on process that needs to be changed inside the organization. Why do they fail? You're going to learn about that. We don't take time to build a coalition, communicate the urgency, get an army of people to help, of volunteers, celebrate the short wins, and so on to get to the change process. So you're going to start with Lewin, which is going to introduce you to the unfreezing, the change, and the freezing. And you need to think about that like you would an ice cube. If you want to change the shape of an ice cube, you would melt it. You would put it in a different shape, and then you would refreeze it. And that gives you the new model or approach to the company culture and the change that you're desiring. Then you're going to look at possibly more ideas around change and what that looks like. So be mindful of when you've engaged or been approached to do something differently and how you've actually reacted to it. John Kotter is the guru on change, and he has a great website with lots of downloadable documents and a very interactive model that helps communicate how to bring about change that it does not have a lot of resistance from the people inside the organization. So when culture is deeply embedded and behaviors and attitudes are deeply embedded in an organization, in its culture, it's very difficult to change. So that's what you're going to be looking at this week. You have a discussion post that's going to look at assessing culture. When you went in for a job interview, you might have looked around to see what was going on in there, how people acted with one another, what it felt like inside that organization. So we're going to take a tour back into that, or maybe a reflection on that process, and you're going to answer a question and you're going to take a quiz. That's what this week entails. This is it for the traditional format of the class. Next week, you will just go into your final exam and your final paper. Again, I say it every week, but I'm available for comments, communication, suggestions, whatever that looks like if you need to talk through your project and as you're writing your paper. So all the best with looking at organizational culture and change. Thanks.